Most people think video games rot your brain, but what if they actually train it? Hey, welcome back to the channel. And in this video is going to be the start of a series that I'm doing on the 10 benefits of playing video games. And to start things off with number one, video games help with problem solving skills. So, and my first point is that games help, well, gaming helps you to constantly make decisions. So in any game that you play, there's always an objective and there's always something to do. There's always a quest, there's always missions, there's always tasks, there's always side quests and side missions depending on whatever game you play. And for me myself, hold on. Anywho, so in the games that you would play, there's always going to be something to do, and it's requiring you to like make a decision or make multiple decisions at one time, or there may be things that you have to do, you know what I'm saying, more than once. And even in the games that, or the game that I play the most is Destiny 2. And I play a lot of PvP, but I also play PvE as well. I also do like I play like strikes and lawless frontiers and invasions and you know all the player versus enemy type activities. So there's always decisions to make. There's always a build that you take into an activity, or more specifically, even if you're playing like a PvP game, or there's always a build that you are constantly thinking about using in a match. So there's always decisions that have to be made, and you're always constantly thinking, especially in a PvP game, especially in a competitive environment. You're trying to capture the objective, or you're trying to outplay the other player, or you're trying to make sure that your angles are right, making sure that, you know what I'm saying, you get the beat on the opposing player, making sure like um if you're able to escape the gunfight to kind of gather yourself, and you have to like make adjustments on the fly, constantly making decisions on the fly, constantly moving the brain to figure out what to do next. And then, especially if you're playing in a PvP game that has a radar or has like a mini map, you're constantly looking at the radar, seeing who's close by. You know, you're constantly looking at the mini map, seeing who's there, making sure that you have the advantage and you're not at a disadvantage. So it's constant decisions that have to be made. There's constant things that we have to, you know, decide or think about doing. So your brain is always moving when you play those types of games, or just any game in general, because there's an end goal that you're trying to get to, where you're trying to level up a character, or you're trying to beat a mission, or games like Elden Ring, where there's this boss that you've been trying to beat for months, and you do all the side quests, you do all the leveling up, or playing games like Borderlands, where you're trying to, capture all the loot, and you level up your vault hunters, and you finally beat the level 50 boss. So there's always decisions that I made in said game. So on to my next point. So puzzle games bring strategy and foresight. So think of a game like Age of Empires, or any like turn-based game like Raid Shadow Legends. And I'm not about to break this and hit you with an ad for Raid Shadow Legends, so it's okay. Um, but games like that require strategy, that require you to plan things out a little bit more in advance, or also on the fly. But think of like puzzle games with puzzle mechanics. And my next piggybacking off my next point, um games require um puzzle mechanics to force creative thinking. So think, piggybacking off Destiny 2. We have 6-player activities called raids for those who haven't played Destiny before. And if you have played, you already know, you're familiar with this. But like activities like raids or dungeons. Raids are like 6-player activities where you go through multiple encounters, and then you have different mechanics and set encounters to like to get through, or to unlock to get to the next encounter. You have to do the first encounter, and then there's puzzles and there's mechanics within those activities and those encounters to, you know what I'm saying, to beat or to unlock. So, and also, like, even in games currently like Destiny and even especially Marathon, there are things called ARGs or ARG. I said that right. ARGs, where there's puzzles, but it's like it's involving real world things or it's involving like real world events. Um, and you have to like go through all these. You have to figure out that you excuse me. You have to decode all these messages, and you have to figure out what's in this little. That there's different ways to kind of solve these puzzles. So that's another way that gaming helps us to think creatively, and there are puzzles in games that require or there are different mechanics or different ways to beat a boss. So you have to destroy this enemy shield in order to get to the big boss, and you have to do certain things. You have to maneuver certain objectives. You have to move certain like constructs or move certain things around in order to unlock said objective or get to the next level or actually just beat the game in general. So, and also, um, my last point is that gaming, you learn from failure quickly. You have to piggybacking off of me playing Destiny 2 and playing PvP or just playing any game in general. You're not gonna win every match. You're not gonna beat every raid or dungeon at said time. There's gonna be mishaps. There's gonna be mistakes. There's gonna be pitfalls. You know, you're gonna die a lot. And it's either it could be it could be a plethora of things. Whether it could be like human error, you didn't communicate, or you jumped into, or you jumped out too early when everybody said stay together, or where you basically and then you have to learn how to get over that. You literally have to learn how to get over that quickly. You can't harbor on the fact, man, I just did this and I messed up and da 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 da. And like, no, you really have to get over it because, especially if you're in a team, especially if you're on a team and you playing with others, you really have to get over that quickly because there's other people that you have to consider. There's other people that you have to like, like be mindful of because you don't want to jump the gun or else it could cost you. It could cost you. You know what I'm saying? Having to restart or and yeah, it would cause you to, you know, not finish in time. Maybe you're trying to speed run something and somebody messes up something or somebody, you know what I'm saying, didn't get the timing right. But at the end of the day, um, these are things that we have to kind of adapt to. These and when it comes to game, you have to learn quickly. And one of the things that kind of stood out to me with this point is that it's not related, but I think it fits with learning from failure quickly. There's a book that I'm personally reading called Man the Moment Demands by Jason Wilson. And it's not talking about gaming at all, but I liked it in his book. He talked about this phrase, letting go of the blow. And basically, he's pretty much just pointing to how to learn to get over things quickly. Now, granted, this is about healing and it's pretty much about mental health and overcoming challenges and obstacles as a man. But I feel like this principle of letting go of the blow can apply to anybody in any situation, even in gaming. And like we have to we can't just stay in defeat mode. Even though you lost the match, you lost the round, you can't stay in defeat mode because as a believer, the Bible does talk about in Proverbs that a righteous man falls 7 times and then we get back up. So it's in the getting up that we actually get better. It's in the, yes, you made a mistake and it's okay, but let's learn from it. Like a lot of the reason why it's better to overcome stuff quickly is because they become lessons even on the fly. So if you push too hard or you pushed and you got two other players in front of you and now it's like, you know what I'm saying, and you pushed and now you died. You can't push. So you have to learn how to like not push. You have to learn how to like step back. You know what I'm saying? Say for me personally also, I especially when I play PvP, I play aggressive But then there's a time and a place for everything. It's another scripture that comes to mind. Like there's a time and a place. So there's a time and a place to push. There's a time and a place to move out. There's a time and a place to stand, to step back and kind of regain. You like take a breath, get your health back. You know what I'm saying? And then there's a time to engage. There's a time to, you know what I'm saying, push through. So at the end of the day, um, gaming isn't just entertainment, it's actually mental training. And we can take these principles not only just in games, but because we are gamers, because, you know, we love video games, we play video games, whether it's for living or just for fun, for leisure, but still, um, it's mental training. And I believe that these principles can help even in our day-to-day lives. So also, linked in the description below, there will be a couple of articles that kind of factor in what I've been talking about. And I think these articles is really dope, and I feel like they'll help if you just kind of want to do some further research, especially when it comes to video games, helping with problem solving skills. So, as always, like, subscribe, and share, and even leave a comment if this is helpful or encouraging or it's, what I'm saying, informative. But I pray that this was helpful and beneficial for those who see this video. So in my next video, I'm going to be talking about how gaming helps with hand and eye coordination. So stay tuned for that one. I'm very excited to be doing this series. So as always, grace and peace.